Hey, good evening. Okay. What is lavender marriage?
Oh, a lavender marriage is when two people enter a marriage on the basis to basically hide their sexuality. One or both is either homosexual.
Okay. So they marry each other just to cover up the
Yeah,
fact that they are what they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I
it's
know. I
usually
actually know
arranged.
people who do that.
You do?
I've known a person that did that.
Oh wow.
Is Diane Von
They were in
Fusco
the military.
Oh,
really?
Well, that
Mhm.
makes.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yep,
that makes sense.
that'll be a whole situation.
Yeah.
This was before this kind of military.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
This one it was, it was just not, you couldn't,
It's not
no.
accepted. Yeah. Well, at least even worse too.
Yeah, now it's
When
definitely.
impeachment is coming, but it needs to come.
Don't you know?
Thank you guys. Hey, Oregon. Hey, Delaware.
I think I got a lot of pictures.
The 12th statue of a black woman has been. How long do you guys think the statues are gonna last? I don't think they're gonna last long.
What statues?
Times Square. Statues of black women.
Not long. And I'm not.
I'm gonna be honest.
I wanted to be
I saw the first one.
Mm-mm.
That's the only thing I saw.
Uh-oh.
It's a no.
I wanted to be surprised when I see it, so I can be like,
Oh, okay, yeah.
okay. Yeah, so I don't have an opinion yet.
Okay. We're gonna say this.
I'm gonna be quite honest. The representation of what they're
That's
using, like you use the most ghettoest. You just portray it like everybody have braids, everybody is wide, everybody dresses like that, everybody put their hands like this. Like, come on, bro. Like some of us don't do that.
No, most of us really don't.
Like
a
that's
very
just
small
like-
proportion. Yeah.
Like if you're gonna represent us
Really
the
do
right
this in
way.
2025 when black women are the most educated women on this planet.
Come on now.
And we're going to show her like that. Oh, God.
Thank you guys.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I guess I'm in for it.
Yeah.
I'm in for seeing something.
I'm trying to see what the rest of.
I didn't know it was more.
No, it's just her. Oh, the 12-foot statue. I was wondering if they were gonna put another one, but I'm like, okay, who did you use to get this?
Yeah.
Right.
Where was his inspiration?
Where was
Who
this from?
Behind it. The artist is actually from Britain.
Is he
Yeah.
black? He or she?
Yeah,
A
but they're
man?
not. Yeah, but they're not like cultured.
Apparently.
Yeah,
If that's what y'all saying.
that'd be my point too. It's like they find everybody but the actual black.
Lord.
I'm like, so it's like, is that how you see us, or someone said, or you made something different, and then they so sketch something different and said, oh no, do it this way.
Yeah, it had to be. Listen, because they're always not getting the voice from the horse's mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Like they don't come to you or
Nope.
you or you, an actual black woman.
Right.
You know what I mean? Come from the, you know what I mean, the soil. They go get someone who represents us, look like us, who, you know, cosplay as us.
Every time.
And that's who they choose to, and that is just so frustrating because it's like, that's not, no. That's
That's
not
not the proper
us. Yeah, that's not us.
Ooh, oh my goodness. I am nervous about what I'm going to see.
She got braids. This look like Laquan.
A mess.
This look like Chandrika. It's giving Chandrika.
It's giving, yeah.
It's giving Tyria.
It's giving she.
It's giving Poking Bean Malibu. It's giving
unhealthy.
someone's mom standing at the front door calling their child. I told you to come inside.
Oh, no.
Exactly what
You didn't even say. Let me make her look like a rich bitch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me make her,
Yes.
you know, in a suit with long hair. I mean, we like bust downs. Like you could have at least gave her bust down. You gave her braids.
You said
a bob braid.
beans.
It definitely gave Auntie Yard. Definitely.
No, I'm looking like it's just so aggravating looking at. Like she don't even look like she had a bra on, but then I'm like, come on now. And then these shoes, ain't nobody wearing these shoes. You could have at least put some J's or some replicas of a J's, or maybe you could have given her some Reebok classics at least. If you're gonna do it right.
Wow.
Come on.
That's how they doing.
Baby.
That's how they
I'm real opinionated today.
Love it.
Oh, well, good.
Because this right here is for the
Yeah.
birds.
Yeah, it's nice.
Hey, Daddy Shaw. Hey, Johnny, here, you can take. That's my daughter, by the way. Here, you can take it. That is my oldest. Okay, when you bring it over there and you set it up, you gotta press this little button. It's already live. Press this little button so it'll fold. Over here.
Hey
You
guys.
can actually put it over there near the stage if you want. Yes.
Look,
Tell me now and put me on.
Well,
Please.
I just asked about her
Yeah.
like 2-3 days ago.
yeah, that's good.
And I said, Judy, where is, and I couldn't remember her name because she hasn't been here in a long time. I said, I can't remember her name, but she had,
Flip it.
you know,
Yeah.
and I think she said, her name was Sunset, something like that. And I was like, yes. And then look, I saw her today. I saw her on the script, on the topics. I was like, what?
There she is.
I dreamt her up.
She is back. No, I love having you. You do a great job, and this wig is definitely. I love that. That's super hair. And Miss Crystal,
Yeah.
you're back looking beautiful.
That's real. Thank you so much.
It's like the shortcut was made for you.
Right. Listen, I'm not letting it go, but I'll go into the long hair.
I see you pop on a wig every now and then.
Here it is.
And she got a different name.
I like my short hair. Yeah, it works for me. It works for me.
I love her.
Thank you. Our most exciting topic today is the statue.
Yeah? Okay. We're gonna get into it. Yeah. We're gonna get into it. And Raquel, you got your pink lip on today?
Yes, honey, my baby.
Very cute. Very cute.
Ponytail.
Yes, I love the hair.
Thank you.
Love the hair.
Thank you.
How they acting over here. You want me to read the script? You got 2 minutes?
It's up to you if you feel comfortable with it, if you go over it. Has anybody ever flown Frontier?
Yes.
We've flown Frontier. Have y'all, okay, well, y'all know what they say about Spirit. About Spirit and the terrible customer service and stuff. Have their image comes first, and their image comes first, and homosexuality is not always taken in the best way, especially when it comes to men. But we can talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just kind of think about that. He's a very wealthy man. Amongst him and his peers, maybe he didn't know how it would be perceived. Also, we don't know what kind of relationships he was into. You know. So then we're gonna get into this artwork that was placed in Times Square. British artist Thomas J. Pierce, he created a 12-foot bronze statue of a fictional black woman titled Grounded in the Stars, which was meant to celebrate and elevate black women, but some people are saying it doesn't really reflect the average black woman, and it feels like a missed opportunity for representation. So based on this image, we'll talk about how it made you feel. If the goal was to empower and inspire, when you first saw this image, what was the feeling that it gave you? And how do you think they could have done things differently? And we could talk about things from her hair to her pose to her size,
Yes.
to how she was her stance, like all of those
her mug.
yeah,
Yeah.
all of those different things we can kind of point out, because all of it matters. If this is what they're saying is the representation of the everyday black woman, then
That's the problem.
so we'll talk about it, then we'll end the show on a quote, and that'll be a wrap for today's show. How y'all feeling? We're good? We're good. All right, let's have a great show. Maddox and Trinity, I said it right? Y'all want to come with me? I'm about to head over.
Quiet as a mouse, quiet as a mouse.
You want to come in the control room?
Okay.
It's up to you.
It's like, yeah, leave it, that's fine.
You can come in the control room, or you can.
Say you on a mission, don't come back with just 1, 2.
I'm getting paid.
Come back with enough.
I'm getting paid. I'm getting paid.
Those chips and that soda that I'm on.
Oh my gosh.
That Tesla you ride around in every day?
Like you have no, you don't
Yeah.
know if I'm on pole at night, but
Wow.
come on now. Courtney, okay?
Okay.
Courtney.
Bye.
Great show, ladies. Hi, YouTube. Tell Chris to stop playing and put me on, man.
You mean you telling her not to
I'm talking, what's the,
do that video,
yes.
have you crack it up. To the whole I'm like, well, they might need to go take this class or something because it's serious.
let's trade. You put me on YouTube and have my product line. What is the, Pro Beauty? Pro Beauty, yes, Pro Beauty, Seal, let me put Seal, love.
So you over here selling this whole, this.
Girl, listen, I seen, Tavon coming that elite hair care shirt from work yesterday. All right, Tavon, big up yourself.
Right now,
My God.
That's the next job. Our lease is up there.
Well, roughly, keep the same time. I know that's what happened.
All right, y'all. We got 1 minute.
Telling you you're home.
Hey, Raquel, thumbs up if you can hear me.
It's in the house, not in here. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of Point of View. Today we've got Crystal Williams and Sunset joining us. Thank you, ladies.
Hey,
And trust me, we have a lot to get into today. Coming up, if you've ever dealt with terrible customer service, you might want to hear why Frontier Airlines is making headlines for all the wrong reasons. Then in Girlfriend's Guide, we're breaking down something called a lavender marriage. Yeah, it's a thing. And of course, you won't want to miss unpopular opinion. So grab a seat, join the discussion. You're watching POV. So y'all, things went down over at Frontier Airlines between a customer service agent and a passenger just trying to check in. Allegedly, this whole situation started when a Frontier employee refused to check in a customer who arrived 30 minutes before his flight. Get this, y'all. Because he hadn't paid a $25 agent assistant fee? Now, we know there are two sides to every story, but let's take a look and then we'll break down how this situation could have been handled a lot differently.
I paid for a ticket.
And you
I paid for a
$25 for
ticket.
agent assist fee, and you check in 3 hours later. Hello.
I just said that I just said that I would pay the $25.
And you thought you were going to get on your flight. And you thought you were going to get on your flight. And you thought you were going to get on your flight. And you thought you were going to get on your flight.
I literally paid for a ticket. I'm here 30 minutes. I'm here 30 minutes before my flight, and they're not letting me check in.
And you're not getting on your flight.
It's a policy, we don't control that.
And you will never.
You were about to let me check in. You were about to let me check in,
Oh.
and you decided that you ain't gonna let me check in.
Make me take you in. Make
You
me
literally work for a company that I bought a plane ticket. I paid.
Oh, wow. So what do y'all think about that? Yes.
I wish I knew like a little bit more, of what happened, initially when we got there and kind of just to see a little bit better about how it played out. But one thing I will say is back in the day when I was bold enough to even attempt to fly Spirit or Frontier, I learned the hard way, baby, that if you are not at least an hour and 15 minutes, you can hang it up because they're going to cancel that flight or they're going to tell you you cannot get on it and you're getting no reimbursement. They're not even going to say, hey, let's see if we can get you on the next flight. So 30 minutes before your flight, you should have just,
Wow.
I think it was just real disgusting how she was provoking him, even if she didn't feel like he was in the right, even if it was policy. There's a way in which you handle a customer or a situation. We're still human. So her saying, but you're not gonna get on a flight, but you're not, it's like, why are you provoking him? Yeah, you're antagonizing. You don't know what that man had to get to. You don't know his personal story. Why did you just ask him, well, why were you late? What can I do to help you? Here's our policy. What happened?
Yeah.
And understand the situation. We're losing humanity, I feel, when we handle situations like that.
Well, the girl next to her wasn't helping either.
Yeah.
Like, when you have two agents, first of all, why do you have your phone recording?
Right.
Aren't you at work? Your job is customer service. So I can understand if he was belligerent, he was irate, then you have security, you have all these things for that. But instead, you want to now retaliate and give the same behavior, but expect to be held at a different standard? No.
Yeah, they don't pay them enough for that though. Like,
Exactly.
you're not paying to be security, you're not paying to make the customer feel this way. Like, why are you taking this job as if this is your sole responsibility in life? Like, oh, I'm gonna fight my way out right now, look.
Right. Well, some people just love to act like that. I mean, you go to the fast food restaurant.
I was about to say, that's how I feel about that sweet and sour sauce.
Listen, you got about
The way I'm gonna fight you down about that quarter, they're gonna give you the sauce.
Well, you know what I do in a case like that? I take out $100 bill. Okay, baby.
Exactly.
No, I'm just that disrespectful. No problem. Give me one. I want all of that change.
That's right, all of it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God, yeah.
Okay, now you had said you would have liked to have seen what transpired prior to.
Yeah, I would have liked to see how this, started.
Yeah.
Because one, we know that we can tell by them having their phones out, okay, he was, recording first. I think they definitely went like way too far. It was ridiculous. I wonder, is my mic working?
Is it working yet? No, it's still not working. Okay, you wanna say that in my ear? No.
What I think Tali is definitely saying about seeing the bigger picture. Right, absolutely. Because there's 1,000 views of this and we only got to see 1 minute.
Right.
I'm sure that whole encounter lasted at least 5 minutes,
Yes.
maybe even more. But here's the problem. Let him record, let him do what he wants. How you respond is what the world saw. They did not care about anything this man said and how he carried on. Because you are at work, and when you are at work, you're representing someone else. Had Frontier belong to me, because it will be soon. Right. Right. I would fire her, the girl next to her, and the other girl across the way, because some of you need to step up. You have a supervisor, what is your job, baby?
Did she
You're
get
supposed to
hired?
over here too. I hope so.
I think she did.
So was it worth it? Was it worth it?
It's like you need a job,
Why
you
would you
took the job, and then and now you're fired because you couldn't handle yourself properly as a representative for a professional corporation. What I don't like is though, Frontier Airlines nickel and dime you, so I was very surprised about $25 for an agent assistant fee.
But let's be honest,
What is
even
that?
the $25 isn't making sense.
No.
Because you're already late. 30 minutes, the gate closes, 45 before you. So you're 30, sir, I don't care what act of Jesus you're going to use to cross the airport.
You're not getting on.
There is no way.
Uh-huh.
You can't even get through security advisor. Right. Come on now.
But now he was there at the counter though, all they had to do was just let him off.
I don't know, I was gonna say, I'm
But he's
gonna buy
right
it.
at the counter.
You should
I
have
think they had a bad day.
Yeah.
So I know they use that as an audience, but guess what? We're in the world of social media, so what airline is going to not hire you?
Right.
You're back for business, both of you.
I hope it was worth it. I hope it was worth it. I hope she learned from that experience.
I hope so, because that was very frustrating for me to even watch.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to move on to the next topic, and parents. This one might hit close to home. How do you feel about being held accountable if your kid hits a teacher?
No, I don't agree with it.
Don't want to be held
No, I don't agree with that only because as I've aged and grown, I realize even your kids grow up to be who they want to be. You could have trained them, you could have poured your all into them. You can be living for your kids and do everything you can, and they will still decide to do the opposite of what you taught them. So I can't be held responsible for another human being, even if it came out of me. I'm just sorry. So to say that the parents will be held accountable, yes, sometimes charity starts at home, right? But there's so many other factors like their environment, the friends. Kids take their friends' opinions more serious than their parents. So at what point are we gonna hold the environment accountable and maybe have a community meeting and see what's happening in the community versus just what's at home? Like, we're beyond that.
Well, Georgia's teacher union just proposed a law that could hit parents with fines, community service, and even jail time if their child attacks a teacher. Now, this all came about because the violence in school continues to rise with over 750 incidents reported just last year alone, okay? Now, some say this will finally bring back discipline in the home, while others argue it's unfair to put all the blame on parents. So where do we stand on this? Where do we draw this line?
And I feel like, at the end of the day, what Sunset said is so accurate. And, I learned that, raising my sisters and my cousins and ultimately, my kids. And so even my son, my 17-year-old, for instance, he is an amazing person. And at one point, I remember when he was in middle school, I would literally be arguing back and forth with anybody, going to bat for whatever they said that he did, because I just know not my son. But you cannot vouch for anybody, and so I really don't think that parents should be held accountable. Now, I do feel like discipline in the home should be turned back up, turned on, whatever, because we've been off it. So many parents we see are like, oh, don't say anything to my child, or, and so the saga continues, but at the end of the day, parents are not responsible for what their kids do in the street, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I still believe it takes a village though.
I think so.
I believe in the concept that we grew up on.
Yeah.
It's not to say, you don't have to be rude to the child or whatever, but we have this notion that no one can talk to your child. So guess what? When your child sees and hears that, that's exactly how they're gonna act. And that's what they're doing.
This is controversial, and I don't really want to say it, but I feel like that aspect of it, of no one can talk to my child, and not valuing the village, is more like an American thing. Like I feel like, you know, Western
Yeah.
cultures and African cultures, things like that, they really value the village. But I see so many American people say, no, you can't say nothing to my child, don't talk to my baby, don't hit my child, and the younger generations, I don't feel like, you know, cause we, I mean,
That's definitely
Yeah.
true. No, I don't agree with that 100%, because even in my household, I'm Haitian, the whole neighborhood could whoop me. My parents, yes, when they were disciplining my sister, they put her in the middle of the neighborhood and whooped her in front of the entire neighborhood for something she did. So when it comes to, the Western world, we do not operate that way. Everybody is responsible for the children, not just one person. And that's how we end up thriving. So I don't even know the American lifestyle where people are like, you can't talk to my kid. That kid better not come near mine or me, because I will discipline them.
Yeah.
When I go to the park and your kid put their hands on mine, or something happens, I step in and I do something, and I dare you to do something.
oh Lord, you gonna be the lady we was talking about the other day on the news now. When I get to pay $700,000 for calling a little black kid
because these parents will let their kids do anything, and they'll sit right there and don't say nothing.
Let's be honest, the parent, the child hitting the teacher,
Yeah.
there should be fear of teachers.
Yeah.
Let's be, like, there's roles that we have fear of. There's roles that we have.
Barry Diller, the tech billionaire and longtime husband of fashion icon Diane von Furstenberg, did I say it right? Furstenberg, just got real about his sexuality. At 83 years old, he's addressing those long-standing rumors about being gay, saying, well, there have been a good many men in my life. There's only ever been one woman, and she didn't come into my life until I was 33. That's what he said. So apparently, the rumors were true. But a lot of folks are wondering, why stay married to a woman for so long if you're not living in your truth? Tell us.
Because they know how to make sure that the money stays where it is.
And he's a billionaire, and he needed someone to go to those parties with him. Listen, exactly. I'm trying to figure out, this man said there has been a good many men.
That's what he said.
I mean, many men.
I'm super disturbed. I'm gonna say this, because this man is 83, y'all. It just grinds my gears that he waits till he's almost at the other side of the door to admit that he like many men. Like, why live a life of a lie, and why have other people living in that life with you? It goes to say that how men, they typically want to have their cake eaten too, and he waits till he's again on the other side of the door now to be truthful. You wasted so many times and so many lives of, untold truths, and you got other people involved in mixing your stories. And I know she separated from him, and she had an affair, by the way, if y'all didn't know. And so they separated and then got back together. So I do believe it was arranged. I do believe that. But it's still like, why not just live in your truth? I know he had other people mixed up in his lives by not being forthcoming.
Yeah, but I also look at it like he's 83. So think 83 years ago, what life was like 63 years ago. You couldn't come out and say certain
I can
things.
see it in his eyes.
Yeah, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt his pocket at the end of the day. And let's be honest, who are we to judge what his truth is? They could have been happy and not inside. Will and Jada were super happy.
Okay.
Well, that's the thing though. He could have been happy, but he admitted he wasn't. That's what I'm trying to get to.
We're talking the arranged many men.
Oh, okay. Yeah, arranged.
She know what she.
She knows
I'm
what
sure
she's
there's been
saying.
many men's for her.
And you never know. We've seen some creative arrangements, where sometimes the wives are, they're fine with it. They understand. Sometimes they wives, whatever situation may be. So I mean, it's disturbing to me. And I mean, who are we to judge? But hey, the Bible says you tell the tree by the fruit that it bears. I'm judging, baby. Because that back door is for escape, not in. That's how they be getting all that COVID killer.
Wow, leave it to Tally to say what she wants to say. That's right. Well, I will tell you this, my best friend, I told him, look, now if I don't get married at a certain time, we're gonna have to get married because I need somebody to take care of me.
Is your best friend gay?
And I said that I need somebody to take care of me. Now that was gonna be arranged. Like he knew what he wanted to do, right? And I know that, right? But hey, I need somebody
Well,
to
you was
take
gonna
care of
get
me.
married to do what with him, Raquel?
To be honest.
And you
He
was
needs to
gonna
be
have
my husband and take care of me.
you gonna do the wifely duties?
No, well, not really. They do it for the
And I don't even
benefits.
understand that because if we're being honest, these military benefits ain't no
No,
benefits.
they're not, but when you have them,
Yeah, yeah.
when you need some, you're gonna do it.
Yeah, I know talking about shell shock standing in the corner in the middle of the night, waking
my
up,
God.
using spiders.
I told him we gonna get married. He said, "Oh Lord, please let her find a husband. Oh, please, 'cause I just can't do it. I can't do it." At least they know
Yeah.
between the two what's going on, because I know other hairstylist men who were married knowing
For
they were
years,
married.
for years.
The wife knew nothing, and then cold turkey, you drop it on her.
See,
and go
yeah, that's
and
what I-
that's created a whole facade
Right.
for this woman.
Yeah.
Now she's distraught and broken.
Yeah, and she can't get her time back. Like, time is the
Cannot.
most important thing that we
You can't
have.
replace it.
You cannot. Like, it's just.
Now did Diane von Fetzenberg, now did she know that he was gay and maybe?
Right, yeah.
Maybe because there is such thing as a lavender marriage. Now, when a couple, usually a gay person, and a straight person gets married to, keep up appearances. So I think that's definitely what they were doing.
Between the two, when you got the word billion,
Yeah.
million, even hundreds of thousands,
That's the
we gonna do this situation.
Right,
Right.
We know all the innuendos, we see everything, we
Yeah,
watch
I
her,
know
we
it.
know she knew.
I'm not giving up none, you're not giving up none, we're gonna remain unhappy together.
No.
Well, I think he was kinda happy, I mean, he was living his truth in the marriage without
With many men.
being outside.
He
Maybe.
said she paid him half too, so he had.
She probably did. She probably was everything that he couldn't get from the man.
Yeah.
So this is called a lavender marriage. So this is so y'all know, when it's a couple, usually a gay person and a straight person gets married to maintain appearances often to hide true sexuality. It was more common in the past when societal pressures made it difficult for people to live openly, especially in the public eye. So that's the background behind lavender marriage.
People should just be more open with their sexuality and not put others in their.
I think it's now.
Well, now
it's
probably a little more.
that way.
Well, it's a little too much now, because they're forcing it on you. It's like, no, that's what you do, and that's cool. You don't have to force that on nobody. Just be honest about it so people can have a choice.
Listen, all I know is the Bible say black, a white, brown, a color, baby, don't say nothing about lavender. I don't know nothing about
That is true, y'all. It's time for the final segment of the day. Let's get into unpopular opinion. So a new public artwork in the heart of Times Square has people talking, and the feedback has not been all positive. British artist Tom J. Price created a 12-foot bronze statue of a fictional young black woman titled Grounded in the Stars, which was meant to celebrate and elevate black women. However, some are saying it doesn't truly reflect the average black woman and feels more like a missed opportunity for real representation. Now, based on the look of this image, how do you feel about it?
This is in Times Square.
Yep. Times Square, yes.
Now, what I will say is, I feel like people are going too far, in my opinion, with saying it's a misrepresentation, because when they make a person or an image or a figure always skinny and Barbie-like, then you also have other people that don't feel included. And so I feel like, unfortunately, we are living in America, unfortunately, and this is a land of, for lack of a better word, obesity. And so, people often look like that. It's common.
No.
That's giving. If you're in the city of Orlando, that's giving very much Poking Bean, Malibu, Paramore, South Street. Come on now, you gave her the look of. You didn't give her the look of class. In a sense. You didn't portray her as the.
This is 2025.
Yeah, class.
Right, exactly.
Okay, so you walk around here with look like
No.
some Doc Martens.
No.
When
No, my biggest thing too, Tali, I wanna touch on what you said, because you said the reality of it is some of us do look like that, but that's not the majority. And it's very important when we're talking about representation, when black women are the number one when it comes to education. We're almost number one when it comes to fashion as well. We're consumers in all realms, right? So to say that this is going to represent the masses,
It does.
and then with her attitude, the face, the expression, her hand on her hip,
Yeah.
it's almost, they missed the mark to me completely.
No, they're
They
trying to be inclusive, but you're right.
Yeah, no,
You're right.
they
You're
missed
right.
the mark. If I put this in a corporate room, because I have been in corporate, it's giving them to say, yep, you see what I said? You're
Yeah.
into all the stereotypes, all the microaggressions, everything that we fight every day to
She
be
looks
against.
aggressive.
That is what that looks like to me.
Well, should public artwork always reflect like reality, or is it, you know, that it's meant to honor, or is it just artistic interpretation?
No, it's not reality, Raquel, that's my point. Look at four beautiful women right now on the stage. Who reflects that? None. So we cannot keep saying that reflects us. Yes, that may look like someone's mother, someone's auntie. There's a white woman that could look like that as well. We're talking about the entirety of it, right? This is what people will walk into Times Square and consistently see as a black woman. She doesn't even have a smile on her
Like she
face.
looks like a typical New Yorker. They don't be smiling.
No, I'm gonna tell you why I say that.
They were in the comments and they were
She looks, if you think about it, she looks the way that they appear, that they want us to appear.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hands on her hips, we always have an attitude, like that's how you portray her.
Well, she looks a
You
little
portray
sad
her
to
as
me.
a woman who look, thank you,
She looks
depressed.
sad,
Yeah, right, like we're living in exactly where we are, this is how they look at us. So now when we walk into somewhere and we act like her or do like, this is exactly
She
what
looks
we're
like
saying.
this, like frontier.
That's how.
Oh.
Oh! I didn't say it. It's a beautiful statue.
So if they were to put you on her, just like that, say that's how you live.
I don't care what they think about me.
So when we talk about elevating black women in art, I mean, how should we really do that? Please tell us.
I think it should come from a black woman.
Ah.
This did not come from a black woman. I would rather it be portrayed from a black woman's mouth, from a black woman's artist.
Yes.
I need all of the people who have an opinion on it to be a black woman. Too many times, so many people have opinions and they don't represent, they're not even of us.
So if the artist was black, would we be more supportive of this art?
A black woman. I guarantee you, if there was a group of black women who had to do this,
That
it would
would've
not
been
look like
different.
that. I
Would've been better.
guarantee you.
All right. Well, it's safe to say they were not empowered by that statue. All right. But that's a wrap for today's show. But before we sign off, we'll leave you with your quote of the day. I have standards. I don't plan on lowering them for anybody, including myself. Zora Neale Hurston. Thanks for hanging out with us. You are watching POV. We'll see you the next time right here on Afro TV. POV, y'all.
They're gonna kill me in the comments.
Of white women,
You don't see that?
No,
They're
that's true.
the highest.
That's
one.
true.
I think Jonah Ark or something.
they have on their hands or
Yes.
pointing.
It's gonna be black women. It's gonna be the degree.
A woman that probably was gonna beat you up.
Yes.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
I should watch you without a briefcase.
Yeah, exactly.
But you would have
Not unless you say obesity or.
Oh my gosh.
Did you say it makes you like this or
I'm sitting here and I'm like, I can hear through your soul. I'm like,
I can feel it. I'm like,
are you serious?
Oh, they gonna eat me up. They
They're
gonna
not
eat me up.
tear you apart.
They actually got to work up in you. Oh my
I'm
Okay, people, we're leaving. Bye. Oh.
Let me tell everybody bye. Bye, everybody.
Maybe I'll get lucky. We won't have no Twitter.
All right, you guys. So thank you guys for joining. Y'all say bye. Y'all say bye. Bye. All right, y'all. It's a wrap. So I'll talk to everybody later. Peace. Don't forget.